go live button just a bit early today, just to make sure that everything does what it's supposed to do. See if it reports everything properly today.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, here we go. Exited host mode. Announced in Discord. Let's see it announce. In Twitch. And quiet on the set. Zoom Room Video Communications brought to you by the BMC.
Quiet on the set. You're listening to WRF Video Free Britannia, and this is Lunch. Coming to you live from Deltona, Florida, here are the dynamic duo themselves, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to do anything other than sit there and smack your face and question your own life choices, as well as, like, seriously, why are you wasting an hour listening to us?
That's right. Don't you all have anything to do, better to do? Get off my lawn.
I know.
Welcome to today's show, boys and girls. It is Thirsty Thursday, August 15th, 2019. We're halfway gone with this year. I don't know what the hell
It's
I went
something.
there. That's right. But welcome to today's show. We have some interesting stuff to talk about. We've got patch notes. We've got this coming week's live stream. We've got SodaCon. We've got topics. Eagle, how you doing out there today?
Hi, Eagle.
And let's go ahead and get this out of the way early today. Get this announcement out there because I know people don't want to wait 15 or 20 minutes to find out that they come in the middle of a conversation that they just don't want to be in the middle of. So
no,
they want to be right at the top. That's right.
That's right.
We're going to start it off early. We're going to start giveaways right at the top of the show. 100 gold crowns. We had a suggestion that we find a way to actually, like, put it up on the screen, like what's being done for a giveaway. But I don't know about that yet. I know it can be done. It's just a question of adding that to a routine or something like that.
In slobs, you can do it.
Yeah? How?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, it's when I open the giveaway, it'll go ahead and do that, or do I have to go change it like I change the giveaway every time because that's just a pain in the ass? Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that, and that's probably not going to happen because
it becomes a pain in the ass, and the fact that, like, you're changing the giveaway quite frequently. I mean, that's a lot of editing the text on the fly for what your giveaway is.
It would be, well, I got to edit in one place. It would be nice that if there was a widget that just allowed any time you update the giveaway and open it, that would do that for you. And if anybody has
that's right,
any programming skills who can maybe help with that, you know where to go. Go ahead and send some information to dear old Laz here, because I'm always interested in any new toys, all sorts of new toys, and of course, let's see, where is it? Where is it? I know it's in here someplace. I know I had it here. I don't know why it keeps deciding to close on me, but yes. We have new toys like this that just, you gotta deal with it, people. Deal with it. That's right. Got those OG glasses on.
Yep. But so we did have a patch this morning.
Yes, we had a patch this morning, and let's just jump right over to that real quick.
For those that don't know, it is actually patch number 1029.
1029, because it was a bad copy paste.
Yeah, exactly. Because on the website it says patch number 1027 that came out and fixed display names for some tamed wolf pets. They added 2 butterfly visual effects decorations to the crown shop and updated for the next set of vault items in the crown shop.
Very interesting. Let's take a quick peek. Butterfly decorations, you say?
Yeah.
Let's see what we get when we go to the butterfly. Is it going to be under the featured? Butterfly visual effects decoration. So I'm going to call that the Monarch.
The Butterflies 3, Butterflies Orange.
What's that?
The new decorations, Butterflies 3.
Okay, I guess 3, I gotta do...
And the Orange 3.
Butterflies 3 and... Oh, okay. Very cool. So I'm assuming these are placeable in POTs so that people can put them around the bushes and all that good stuff. Like,
yes.
Very, very, very cool. I do like that. I do like that. That I can't complain too much about. And the vault, did they just put the updates in? Yeah, they just put them in for tomorrow's. They haven't changed the vault yet.
The vault will change expiring tomorrow. Oh, no. The vault items are all new.
Expires, 13 days. I thought it said 13 hours. I just glimpsed at it. Very interesting. Ancient Elven Vo. Oh, yeah. Arius would be pissed at all this elven armors now out there.
I know.
Elven stuff.
I am so glad that I sold my elven archer armor for like $75.
Actually, I think I bought one set, and that was just for resale because I had no interest in it whatsoever. And let's see, what are the featured items on sale? Ending in 52 minutes is the Wedgie Siamese
cat.
And some of these other items are vault items. And
Wedgie?
Wedgie. Wedgie. That's how it's spelt. I don't make it up. I just read this shit. You guys know better than that.
Now,
but yes.
Okay, so I've got a question about the Black Stag decoration pet.
Oh, hold on. I just closed it. Let me get back there. The Black Stag decoration pet under pets.
Yeah, under from the vault.
Yep, I see it.
I don't remember.
I don't ever remember a Black Stag being anything. Well, you know how to do that. Let's go to the wiki.
I honestly do not remember this. So, and don't forget, you can always inside the game Soda Wiki.
/Soda Wiki space whatever your query is, and let's see.
And I just did a search for Stag.
Was originally $15.
Okay.
And it was previously on the add-on store? I don't recall it either, to tell you the truth.
I don't remember it.
But if you've always wanted to have a black stag, well, there it is. I'll put this up on screen real quick just so you guys can see it.
Elven City Home. Oh, that's why. Available in the Elven City Home tax-free bundle. That's why I don't remember it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a special item that was, okay.
It's originally $15, now on sale for $28.
Well, hold on. If it was originally in a bundle, it wouldn't have been $15, would it?
Exactly. Well, no, it wouldn't have. So, yeah.
Okay. Had to be available. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be available separately somehow in order for that to get in there. And that would be a brown coat Jason question.
Yeah. And hey, brown coat Jason was actually active on the forums.
I can imagine, because there's some really hot topics going on out there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. You have no clue what I'm talking about.
No clue.
Whatsoever. That's right. Not a clue. Because we don't know
Tinder
anything.
Fire Jack.
What's that?
Tinder Fire Jack.
Hey.
Just build it up like a proper Boy Scout fucking flame and just...
How many months have I actually been talking about this, though?
I know, but you worded it quite nicely.
Huh?
Yes, but...
worded it quite nicely, and I added a little bit of a fan to the smoke, and all of a sudden it went...
Poof.
Well, roar, flame.
Yeah.
Flame on.
It's going to fizzle. It's not going to change anything. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Just post it weekly.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along. Let's see. Hang on a second.
Oh, wow. Now I've got 6 new updates. People seem to be doing weird things on my post.
Yeah, well, I made a comment to that, and yeah, I'm looking at another complaint on the mannequins using 6 container slots, and that's actually now been listed as a bug and not working as intended.
Not working as intended.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a funny feeling that the fix is to make male mannequins use 6 slots as well, and that's going to be the fix. But hopefully, that's not going to be the
yesterday
case.
I was on a lot with 60 mannequins.
60 mannequins.
60 mannequins on one
a village lot.
One village lot.
That's not supposed to have 60 containers on it.
Now, you know how yesterday I said that the mannequins are essentially rendered as players, and that contributes to significant performance degradation.
Absolutely.
So, approaching that lot, I dropped 20 frames per second.
I thought you dropped 20 frames per second, not just 20 frames.
No. Like I was running 60 frames per second
to 30.
60 down to 30 to 40.
Okay. So drop 20. Okay, makes sense.
So drop 20 on average. But you have to remember, a mannequin's just standing there. It's not doing an emote. It's not sending any kind of location. Oh, wait, it is. Because it's rendered as a player.
Yes, but anyway.
And
let's get to that topic when we get to that topic, because we got a lot to cover. We got a little time to cover. Today is the last show of the week, because you all know that this guy over here is going away again.
Okay.
Have more
I want you to notice what I just did in front of us.
What did you just did in front of us? You put a
pulled out
down.
The soapbox.
Well, that's not the soapbox.
Well, do I need to rename it?
Well, you had one that was renamed the soapbox, so I don't know.
It's somewhere over on the
I know.
Other side of the
where
wall.
You can't find it. I thought it was that little box behind you there. That's fireworks now.
Hold on. Rename item. Soap box.
That's what I got
All
to
in
do.
caps.
I
All in
got to
caps.
add my soapbox icon, but actually, it's not really going to
Okay,
be a
there.
soapbox. Again, had a topic that we were going to cover Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then today to catch up on it. And truthfully, I don't even see leading with that because we've got so much more in
Well,
Jack's post over here.
Okay,
So I'm just going to say let's cut to the chase because we know that there are plenty of people out there waiting to hear about this. Well, plenty of people waiting to chime in on this. So are you going to read your whole initial post for the good folks?
I'm trying to stand. I got to get on top of the soapbox.
Got to get on the soapbox. There we go.
That's right.
And you got to pontificate while you're doing it.
Okay, I am pontificating. Here, I'll even zoom in to soapbox pontificating. Okay, so
Now you stepped off.
I didn't step off on my screen.
You stepped off on my stream, but okay, it looks good.
So can't help you. Can't help you there because I'm clicking on the web pages.
He's
So
still on.
I did officially announce my dev challenge now with financial incentives. And I made my post, and I start off with my last developer challenge was related to crafting and has only been partially completed by Chris. That challenge was for any developer to craft 100 of each scroll from base materials without cheating. That means they would have to make the wood pulp and they could buy the other resources. The challenge was initially issued at SodaCon Austin in 2017, maybe 2018. It was 2017. To Beezus, Darkstar, and Lord British during a crafting panel. When the challenge was initially put out there are only two types of scrolls, teleport and recall, that would have required the making of at least 1,000 wood pulp and the purchase of at least 2,000 black pearl, 1,000 mandrake, and 1,000 nightshade. It's actually more than that because of the failure rate.
That's just the base cost without failures.
Absolute based without failures at all. Since Chris started the challenge on his stream, he did cheat. He tried to amp up the crafting time, so he enabled his dev hacks. He didn't actually gather the wood scrap. I actually handed it to him.
And he duplicated it.
And he duplicated it. He did not abide by the actual rules of the actual challenge because he was trying to do it. He made some wood pulp. I think he made less than 100 scrolls in total. But since he did this live on a stream with 125 other people watching, he did realize how fucking abysmally shitty crafting is for something super simple.
Okay, just read the post. Don't paraphrase so everybody knows what you're doing. Come on.
He did not complete the challenge, and he said that he would take it up again after some crafting changes were added to the game. Instead of fixing the underlying systems that were really the cause of the challenge being issued, we were provided with some duct tape solutions, bulk scroll crafting, and new improved pulp. It is now a refined material. My response: still broken, guys.
Broken. Not what
Still
we
broken.
asked for. Not what the community asked for.
Now, this new developer challenge is relatively simple. Get on the normal game client. That's right, normal game client. Not a GM client, not the dev client, and sure as fecal matter, not playing the game through Unity. Create a new character, no modifications of the character either. And I'm referring to them actually enhancing skills and doing other things, giving them gold, whatever, weapons. And complete the quest lines.
Yeah.
And complete the quest lines and get your Shroud of the Avatar. Relatively simple. 40 hours of game time. What are these financial incentives thou speaketh of?
What?
Well, quite simply, I stopped all of my subscriptions until this is completed. As my partner in crime said, hey, you just saved yourself a bunch of money for a long time because they aren't going to do your challenge. They couldn't even do the first one. Now you can afford car insurance. And I really
saved a
did.
boat of money on car insurance.
I really did take an extreme liberty with his comments.
You
and
took quite a bit of liberty. It's not exactly what I said, but that's the gist of it. That's right.
A lot of liberty with Laz's comments.
I just made the joke of, hey, you just saved a whole lot of money on your car insurance. They're never going to take up the challenge because developer time. Yeah, but
now,
anyway, I like the way you paraphrased it. I'm not complaining.
I had to add some levity into there. And why does this challenge exist? I want a better game. I want the developers to be proud. I want the developers to play their own game. I want them to say, hey, look, that awesome system that people really enjoyed, I designed. Simply put, I want more people to play.
Indeed. Now
that's my post.
With that said, many of you have chimed in, and many of you have, other thoughts to put in there. So we're going to cut to the chase right off the bat, and then we'll open up for discussion after this because Chris chimed in. Jack chimed in again, and while I was doing my damnedest to stay out of the conversation, I got up this morning, saw all the other posts that were added to it, and of course, I had to chime in just to put my 2 cents out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right down to Chris's reply, or should we do Brown Coat Jason first? Let's
do Brown Coat Jason because he does actually respond to Brown Coat inside of his post.
Let's go scroll up.
Brown Coat Jason says, I canceled my subscriptions after release 59, selective multiplayer. It's been only 10 months without anything new for me or any of the accounts that I purchased for others. I don't expect anything to change. That said, I've completed the Shroud on 2 different accounts. Sure, there are some strange jumps in difficulty. Wonky quest mechanics, and questionable leaps of logic required. However, you can at least complete it. It will need to be redone anyway when the new quest system gets added, which is hopefully still coming for episode 2.
Now, you're next again. Do you want to read all this, or do you want to just paraphrase this and go right to Chris?
Let's go straight to Chris.
Yeah, if you want to read all this, it's still on the forums, and people are still adding to it, so please feel free to chime in. But Chris was nice enough to go ahead and chime in, and he's given a substantial information here, which of course I've clipped some of his comments, as many others did, and we'll get to that after this here. So with Chris's reply,
hi, just a heads up that I know you guys think all devs should play the game, but most won't and never will. I've worked with more than 100 professional MMO developers at multiple companies, and only a handful were serious MMO players. It's a fantasy to suggest that all devs should play through a quest line just because they are writing server code or working on building system scripts. They won't gain anything from it. It will frustrate them because they don't know MMOs. And it will waste precious time. I do agree that in design positions should spend more time playing their systems and maps and content, though, and I will continue to push for that. Also, I stare at a wall because I'm focused on talking to you guys and answering your questions and listening to your concerns, not because I don't want to play the game or I don't play the game. Why? Because you guys play the game for 50,000 hours a week. And you guys are the customers I should be listening to.
That's a big spoiler, by the way. We'll talk about that later.
Do we always listen to you guys? No. Because sometimes you don't understand the consequences of what you ask for or how it fits into the greater economy or design. Take the request to remove randomness from crafting. The result would be to destroy the refined and raw materials market. It would also make it so anyone could craft what they wanted more easily and reduce the need for expert crafters. Likewise, making scrolls easier would just make the crater the scroll market. I'm not just streaming because I like to torture you by singing Disney songs while staring at a wall. I'm actually there to listen, to feedback and make tasks for them when appropriate. You guys may not know the right fix, but you usually know the problems, and we try to improve where we are able. Sometimes we get it wrong, but we aren't getting it wrong in a complete vacuum. Also, I understand not everyone has time to visit my stream, and sorry there isn't a more optimal way, but what I've found time and time again is that a real-time dialogue through stream or through Discord is the best way to understand problems. Also, a good way for me to rapidly communicate what I'm thinking on a task. At Elrond, I agree 100%. Dead after 100 thing. Oh, we should have read Elrond.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get to that here. Yeah.
And pointless timers, and I believe that should be addressed. I know you've been beating that drum for a while. Beezus and I are taking a trip to Vegas together for Syndicon next week. I'll see if we can brainstorm a real fix. In-game crafters are extremely important to the game and us. Just tough sometimes to fashion a fix since so many items are out there already that would be changed or become obsolete, and also because of the fear of disrupting balance even more. We're going to the Syndicate convention. We already know those guys are going to hammer us on that very topic and loot and lots of stuff. So we'll have some serious talks in the 10 plus hours we'll spend side by side. At Browncoat Jason, sorry, I know that wasn't a popular change with some, but it is one we felt was best for the long-term health of the game. Still a tough call. I still think it was the right one for new players. As for canceling subs or whatever, up to you, but it only hurts the game you're trying to help fix. We appreciate every dollar we get, but we can't just do things that are bad for the health of the game long term, because people are threatening to stop paying anything in our free-to-play game. In many cases, you guys are right about the problems, but we aren't going to be more or less likely to address it because of threats or boycotts. Seriously, we want to fix this stuff, but it's rarely as simple as people think it is. We fix lots of stuff every month, but absolutely aware that it is lots to go, so thanks for your patience. See you in stream tomorrow, guys. Feel free to come harass me about this stuff tomorrow.
Absolutely. And again, this goes on. This was all on page 1. We're now on page 3, where I chimed in, and I just want to point out a couple of these things that were addressed by many that I think were sticking points throughout. So let me just scroll down. Here it is.
Yeah, scroll down to Laz.
And this was my post. Okay, so I really wasn't going to chime in here, but just address it on lunch, today's show. But too much to say, and yes, I need notes. So Chris said, also, I understand not everyone has time to visit my stream. Sorry, there isn't a more optimal way, but I found time and time again, so on and so forth. And my comment was, well, I agreed it's a good way to rapidly communicate. I can recall several times where someone said, hey, what about this? And you go off fixing things that weren't broken. Big example was taming necklaces. People just wanted to be able to lock the necklaces so they couldn't be overwritten. And this went into a week-long debate about how to fix it. When we lock it, you can't overwrite it. Simple, very simple request. Jack said, please go back to start posting a stand-up corner. Let us know what you're doing, working on as a team. Also, quarterly milestones. Tell us what to expect. None of that is available anymore, and the only source of information is your streams, which in all reality is a huge DLMB and more squirrely than even this show, Lunch with Laz and Jack. Absolutely. And my comment to that was, nothing can phase information and progress like the stand-up corner and quarterly notes did. We get to see what you're doing, when we can expect to see it in a brief set of notes that can be looked at and referenced on demand by anyone. You can find the information they look for. Example, go find where you made the last change to AI and pick a topic and go off looking through hundreds of hours of stream for one piece of information. Forget it. That's right. Not even I'm going to do that. Please, 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 paraphrasing, bring back stand-up notes and daily notes. The Oracle Watcher, I really don't care what you call it. Just give us notes that we can all easily reference. Of course, another quote was, seriously, we want to fix this stuff, but it's rarely as simple as people think it is. We fix lots of stuff every month, but absolutely aware there's lots to go, and thanks for your patience. Frosttail added in his comment, if you agree, Chris, then why haven't all our pointless timers and everything been removed or severely shortened after all these years? I can't believe that would take a large amount of time to accomplish in one simple task. So, long story short, which it's not here, I believe what many are saying here is, stop adding new stuff till we get the old stuff fixed and fully functional. Simple, no? I personally believe that everyone will understand if nothing new's coming out while you all focus on polish. Let's polish this puppy up nice and clean and shiny so tens of thousands of people want to come adopt it and make it their own. I think many, if not all of you, would agree with that. And if not, please feel free to let us know. Meanwhile, we're stuck with minor or even bad fixes, batch scrolls and pulp. Really? Yeah. Fix crafting correct. No one asked for pulp to be made into a refined material. We asked the crafting be fixed. No one asked for high-cost mannequins. We asked for a way to display our armor. In my humble opinion, the simple T-like structure, a base with a coat hanger type deal, would probably suffice for many of us and won't kill performance. And the list goes on. As in Jack's picture, all the people really wanted was a simple tire swing, and we got a carnival ride. Brown Coat Jason, again, I feel for you. He canceled his subs after 59 and selective multiplayer. I wasn't happy with that either. Many of you weren't. And I feel for you here. And like many, I had my own reasons for dropping support. When the decision was made to go from $5 to $10 a month for rewards, you lost me. I had 9 accounts I was donating on, now only 1. Why? Double the price, less than half the rewards. Might not have been as bad if the rewards were still intact, but as a consumer, paying more for less isn't something I'm willing to do. Finally, monthly releases. Please, for the love of God, go back to a single monthly release and patches after to fix problems. I hear too many people, and I hear it all the time, it's in the forums all the time, complaining of mid-release patches taking so long to download and half-baked buggy stuff going in as it's developed. What's the point of a QA and the license it eats up if you're just going to go at it and piecemeal live? Okay, I'm done. Great feedback from everybody, and thanks if you all got this far in your reading. Yeah, Dorkish, I gotta agree with that. Even every 2 months wouldn't be too bad. But again, plenty of feedback here coming from the community on this topic, and plenty of food for thought for the devs. And I'll be tuning into Chris's stream. I'm sure Jack isn't tied up. Pun intended. Yeah.
I won't be tied up.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I won't be tied up.
We're going to sit and listen. And of course, again, the last point that I just want to point out here was somebody pointed out that why are teleport zones to zone scrolls in the Crown Store competing with the player economy? Really? We questioned that day one. Yep. We've been questioning it to this day. Why, oh, why, oh, why? Now, again, I see some chat coming in here, but first thing I'm going to do is close out this first giveaway and give somebody 100 kodos, and thank you for bearing with us through that extremely insanely long intro. Eagle, thank you very much and congratulations. You are the winner of 100 Kodos, and we're just going to turn around because last day of the week, and I'm finishing the week-long birthday celebration. So we're going to do it again. Another 100 Kodos, exclamation, I love free shit, to get in on that action. So let's get to some commentary and see what people got to say. Now,
Now, caffeine, or oh wait, he's got his headphones off and his mic muted during the show. Whereas before the show, he was actually active, so he's probably just listening. He is at work. He was actually the first person to chime in with, "I will do the same."
And the Twitch.
Yeah, sorry. So go ahead and tell us what your post says, if you can.
Yeah, he's not great on the for that.
Basically said that I agreed with you, and I was tired of being ignored.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Was it you or Econdis that had a friend that just joined the game recently and quit during the Fatui?
That was me.
Okay, and it's one where it's like, you know, for the last year and a half, I've been like making jokes of the Fatui, and I said that it needs to be addressed. It needs to be solid. Now, 2 months ago, they decided internally in the office that they were going to rework the new user experience again and try to make it friendlier.
Is that when they pulled the place in the clouds? What the heck's the name of
it? Yeah, Isle of Storms. A couple of months ago.
Yes.
And Griffler, I don't expect it to do it any good. But at the same time, if you look at the amount of money that I have put into the game versus how long I've supported and how much shit that a very few members of the community really have done.
If you guys don't know the old argument between whales and player, Jack and I are considered whales. I
am a fucking whale.
Okay. We've got multiple thousands of dollars invested. I've got well over a good year's salary, and that was invested a long time ago, to help develop the game, long before it was free to play, when it was still on a pay to play, pay to buy in, pay, and that was the model. The decision to go free to play was never passed by any of us, as we recall. They just decided
it just randomly.
That was the best interest of the game, and if that's what they consider the best interest, that's fine. We did what we did because we wanted to see the game get built. And I've always been the guy who sat there and said, listen, folks, we've done the impossible. We've funded a game. The game has been released. Everybody pretty much now has boxes finally. There's maybe a small, literal handful who don't. We funded the game. We made the game. We've delivered the game. You got all your shiny trinkets. We've done the near impossible with very limited resources compared to the #1 game, where we were #2 as far as I understand, next to Star Citizen, who's got an ungodly $200 million and still hasn't even shipped and released a final product, where we did it with less than $20 million, and we've got at least a final product that's released and playable. So I'm going to start with that. Okay. So, yes, while, somebody like Jack or myself, again, I pulled most of mine a long time ago. I have one sub for my one main where I want to have all the goodies. But
this game is not hard at all.
I used to donate just to get them on all the other accounts. Not any longer. But that's because of the free-to-play, upping the donation to get the goodies. And in order to balance out the losses from the payments of buying the game, they had to increase what you got, what the number for the monthly goodies for. I understand mathematics. I understand all that stuff. I just don't agree with the way they went with it. And that's my personal feeling. But, other things, like just sticking to the basic stuff. We asked for a tire swing, and you gave us that swinging carnival ride with 300 persons that goes on it, when I just wanted a one-seat tire swing that I can push my kid on. I didn't need all that fancy stuff. So, let's see, what else? Crafting Method thinks the new user experience is nice. Now, that's the new user experience, where you go right into the outskirts. Is that what you're talking about?
Griffler, I did not propose that other people cancel their subscription.
No, not at all.
It says I stopped my subscriptions. Yeah, I did not encourage the community to stop their subscriptions. I did not encourage them. Chris even misquotes or misinterprets what I said when I said this new developer challenge is relatively it's like it's for any developer. It's not all the developers. Now, I would love for all the developers to play the game, because you know what? How many times on his own stream has he said that, you know what? Not one person in our office only does one thing. We all wear multiple hats. We all work on multiple systems. We all take a responsibility for doing things. Now, when it comes to a lack of synergy between game elements, there's huge disconnects. I mean, someone in chat was even mentioning the cooking tree. The cooking skill tree.
Let's look at the cooking tree here. Yeah, let's look at that cooking tree. Yeah.
Okay.
There's one whole skill.
Now, when you start, it's not a tree. There's one skill. Now, yeah, there's a tree. But when you start actually looking at it, we were told initially, like 3.5 years ago, for some of these systems, that, you know what, this is the first iteration. We're going to come back and we're going to retweak it. It's going to be much more comprehensive. Okay. But when it comes to crafting in general, there's only one person that designs those systems. That's Beezus. Brandon Cotton is the only person. Yeah, as Chris has actually said, it's like Brandon's confident in what he's doing. So I'm good with that. Now, my developer challenge was initially done at SodaCon in front of 50 other people, as well as Richard Garriott, Beezus, and Chris and Star. They were all there, sitting there watching it. I was told it's working as intended. This was at the same time that they were fucking dropping scrolls left and right in-game, killing the player-created economy of crafting scrolls.
And
because they had to fill loot tables.
And
they fucking straight up laughed at me and working as intended. Okay? Now, it wasn't until over 1.5 years later when Chris finally accepted the initial developer challenge, only because I've been haranguing them fucking on social media everywhere, that I started to actually get some results. Okay? When Chris sat there and tried to do the crafting challenge, you can look at the pain and misery as he's like, what the fuck is this crap?
He was
because that's what it is.
A hard time.
And this is just scrolls.
Right. Now, that, again, goes back to the base crafting system. The problem was, and we all know, I don't know what's going on there with my audio, but, you can do up to 20 of an item unless it's a refined material. And what everybody wants is to just change that integer, change 20 to 80 and make it skill-based. We didn't ask for
not only that, but it's like you also have to increase the time as you actually increase your actual skill level.
Now, I want to answer Griffler
so it becomes faster and does more.
Griffler's, saying that, we got to think about our stance and where we are. And Griffler, again, before it became free to pay, people like Jack and myself, we paid for 5 episodes up front to get this game built. So if we don't want to support another dime after this, we feel we shouldn't have to. We paid for it up front to do this. So chastising us for pulling the additional support we put in on top of the thousands of dollars we've given to get the game built, it just doesn't float in my book. So I just want to get that out of it. We paid in advance so that folks can have fun and play the game. Now, to answer the other question is both. I wanted to play another great Richard Garriott game like I grew up with, and I wanted to be part of it on the ground floor. So it was for my enjoyment and for an investment. And Jack and I took a big leap of faith in this game, and we decided to make this our jobs, as it may be. This is what we do for a living.
It's like, why do we actually sit down on the lot instead of actually like going out hunting? And that actually goes back to performance within the game.
I would
crash your system, you couldn't even jump.
Yeah, I couldn't jump.
You could not jump.
Walk, and I had a $1,200 video card that was doing me no good because Unity's not taking advantage of the graphics card properly, and it's still very processor intensive, as we all understand. But anyway, a lot of stuff to talk about, and what further good did you do after canceling your subs? Let's see. We provide you guys with the news for 4 years running. We're here to help with questions and answers when you guys have questions and answers. We were the first hospitalers before hospitalers were even created. The list goes on, Griff. So again, we as community effort, and again, we considered ourselves very community oriented because we're the only 2 guys on the air who are willing to broach these subjects and bring them to you guys for the subject of conversation.
Griffler, I completely disagree with you with your comment that getting huffy and puffy all you want, and you didn't think it through very well if your pure intentions are only help the game. I'm sorry to say, but if the developers are not going to listen to the players, now Chris talks about going to Syndicon.
Chris admittedly says he doesn't always listen to us. Admittedly, so you can't fault us for that.
So there's been several conventions in Austin with players. Okay, SodaCon Austin, SodaCon Dev,
We've been going
the
to Austin.
BMC
this will
conventions.
Be our 5th year going to Austin.
Now,
not including Dragon Cons, not including Baltimore, not including Sin Cons.
And I have been to the office more than probably most people. So it's like I know when they had an office. It's like I was there almost every single month. Okay, you do not realize that. Chris actually has my phone number. He can call me at any time.
Absolutely. They've all got
So does Star. So does Richard. You know what? The problem is they are not going to listen to an individual. It's like when I can air some of their private stuff internally in their office, but you know what? I don't, because it's privileged information. Now, they need to fix the first-time user experience. Now, Griffler, if you want to go ahead and see what I'm talking about, go create a brand new character, do the Solace Bridge and Solace Bridge Outskirts, because that's where you start now, and see if you can do it without encountering 10
How many times have
bugs.
you restarted a character
10.
Thank you. Not just once, not just twice.
Yeah.
Every time there's a change, he starts a new character and runs it over again. So every time he does that, he encounters stuff, we talk about it. And again, we see changes, but we see no fixes, is what the complaint is. Yeah. Now
the problem is, as far as like the only thing they're going to listen to is lack of money. It's not going to listen to,
that's always
hey, here's my money.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore.
And I want to comment that while you may think that, if you go read the forums, I believe there was only one person who was already on the verge of doing that, everybody else who's posted in that forum that I read had already done so with their subscriptions and had nothing that we said or he said had any reflection. They all chimed in with their reasons, like I did, of why I did what I did and how long ago we did it. Like Browncoat said, he did his in 59, which was 10 releases ago now.
I know a bunch of people that also did it as soon as the Vault came out. I know people that did it as soon
reasons, right? So, again, we're not encouraging anybody. We're just trying to spur some more conversation, which I thought it was going to be a train wreck, but we've got a lot of really good conversation out of this topic so far. And a lot of people are chiming in with a lot of really great ideas. So, yeah, we're public figures, as you may put it. But, again, if anybody's been following this stream is a joke. Okay, we cover topics that nobody will, and most days you never know whether we got any news or not. So while we are harsh sometimes, we are very quick to praise at other times, which I did right at the beginning of the show, if you aren't paying attention, is I love the new butterfly editions and decorations. Great stuff.
Yeah.
When they do great stuff, we praise great stuff. When they don't listen...
And
well,
not only that,
sometimes.
If you actually go back and you look at those new decorations, those butterflies are $2.75. If you do straight up 100 Kodos is $1. Okay, that's not a bad price. That's a microtransaction. Good. Same thing as the fog.
Yes, micro.
Yeah, microtransaction. Now, I disagree with the Vault of let's go ahead and release a bunch of stuff and not price it accurately. I don't agree with it.
And while we disagree with it, we understand that they're doing it for the health of the game. Just because we disagree with stuff doesn't mean that we can't live with it. We just don't. We agree to disagree on a lot of things. And again, we go down every year. We're going to be down in Austin in October, and like what's going on in Vegas with SynCon. Is that right? I got it. Syndicon is right. The Syndicate.
Yeah, Syndicate Guild.
SodaCon, we're going to get a chance to go down this year, and we're going to sit face to face with them, and we're going to talk about this. You know what happens when we do that? We go down, we talk, we laugh, we share a couple drinks together, and the reason we do what we do is because, as Star and I have agreed, we are all very passionate about the game. So if you think we're doing this with malicious intent, I gotta again disagree because toxic. No, toxic is what's going on Reddit right now. We have a very reasonable and verbose post going where people are chiming in with their feelings. Go read the commentary on Reddit about that conversation. That's toxic. So I'm not even gonna cross that line and go there. So yeah, thank you, dude. We want it to work, and we shoot from the hip. And again, we're the only stream that does what we do, and we do it for several reasons. One, again, sitting on the lot, I was crashing with a Titan X. I bought it so I would never have problems again. I wound up downgrading to a $279 1660T because it had similar performance and was 1/4 of the price. Now I've got a $1,200 card sitting on a shelf over here doing nothing for any good, and I've got a $1,000 paperweight sitting there. So, never go to Reddit, right, Famine? So I agree with you there.
No, go to Reddit.
And of course, Star and I have gotten into pissing contests where Star and I have, battled it out. Chris and I, again, we agree to disagree on a lot of things. Richard, he tends to enjoy what we do because we're the only ones with the balls enough to actually get up and do this. Now, I'll just point out that every other streamer spends hours and hours and hours a day playing the game, and what I see is the same thing over and over and over. Mining.
How many of my streams way back when I was doing my nightly stream was just just me doing circles in Deep Ravenswood.
Yep, round and round
It's
and round you go.
that's what it becomes. And so it's like you end up with a lack of content. Yesterday we had that conversation about AI, and I talked about how a tier 1 you should be okay. I'm just going to be doing a basic sword thrust, but and as soon as I hit tier 5 plus, I'm fucking doing a coup de grace. And
Absolutely.
as you go through each skill tree, it all becomes varied.
And
It's one where it's you have to,
right?
Yeah, as you escalate, as your character's growing and going into more complicated scenes, you know what? The same should be happening of the NPCs. They should be doing something similar. So the AI has to be significantly improved. List was on stream yesterday. He was in game. He sat there and said, you know what? That's one of the things we actually talked about in our meeting today was AI improvements. Now, whether or not it was the same thing that I was talking about, that is probably not the case. Probably not the case. How many times? I mean, it is something where when you start looking at community involvement, community access, yeah, this game has done a great job for getting the little guy to make substantial changes within the game. Okay. The other thing is, no, they're not always listening to the whales. Sometimes they spend too much time listening to a very select number of people, but this is a very small development team. Very small. Okay. You have to think of it as a person that's developing the game for their own enjoyment. Okay. If you're going to develop something and you're not even going to use it, why are you there? Now, Chris talks about in his reply that you know what, having the expectation of a guy doing server-side coding and not being an MMO player. I'm sorry? So you don't know how your data is being manipulated? Now, the other thing is you have to also remember that they don't just wear one hat. They touch lots and lots of resources other than Beezus, who's the one that did the crafting by himself. Okay? I have actually been in their office where Beezus was actually working on different skins for armor. Okay? They do all kinds of different things internally. When you recognize that, okay, the guy that does the updates and the builds and everything else, that's Burning Toad. He spent more time in the game than majority of the other developers in the game because he was also doing some bug testing stuff. Now, Party One, that is correct. Why don't they hang out in new player zones when streaming? You know what? Lord British used to sit in Solson. He did. I mean, he did. Yeah. Day one of launch, he was sitting there friending every single person. I'm not gonna deal with the people that say Lord British doesn't actually do anything. He has done a lot for the game, done a lot for the community. He makes suggestions. He does not code things.
He
makes
drives
suggestions
the bus. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he
makes suggestions.
He's not the
It's like,
mechanic. He doesn't
game.
put the parts together. He says, "Okay, this is my vision, and I'm going to drive it in this direction, and this is the way we want to go." And the guys he hires to build it do all that other stuff. Now, again, we can go on and on about this, and again, we do what we do. We do an hour show. We come in, we give you the ideas, we give you the news, we tell you what's going on, and we get the hell out of here. We don't drag it out. We don't beat it up.
And for months, we've run into a serious problem because part of that news is based off of daily things that coming out of their offices.
Yeah.
And
have we been able to provide a show for the last several weeks while everybody's on vacation? Absolutely. Why? Because we have other things to talk about. But When we get to the point where, we're not seeing anything coming out for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and what's coming out is piecemeal. Again, my point is, and Chris pointed this out on his stream, is that they have the QA and they have a license that is eaten up by the QA, so they can't do anything else. Eagle, thank you very much for the bits. Because of that license being eaten up on QA. So why are we wasting money on a license that nobody's playing on QA if we're just patching in live and we're not testing that in all reality? Then take that money, put it someplace else, allocate it towards whatever. I don't know what the cost of the license is, but I'm sure it could be used elsewhere, because right now, even like you said, List said yesterday they're putting in a new dungeon in pieces. So, I mean, I don't know how to answer that. It's just, yeah, exactly, caffeine. It's just one of them things. You shouldn't do that. But basically, my gist out of the whole thing on his post, and what everybody else is saying from what I personally gathered, is, fix what's broken. Stop everything. Stop production. Put a halt on it. Stop the production line. Hit the emergency stop. Let's take a look. Let's refocus. Let's get all that. We're in year 6, folks. This started in 2013. We're in year 6. We still have new user interface problems. We have quests that are still broken. We have, typos that people are still reporting from that stuff. Stop what we're doing, and let's just concentrate
Black
and
Pearl
make
nodes in the middle of nowhere.
The puppy nice and shiny and pretty. Put a bow on it, brush its hair, and put it out there for the world to admire, and everybody want to come and play it. That's basically my feelings in a nutshell. Is instead of working on dungeons, and which is episode 2, instead of working on mannequins, instead of working on fluff, do your monthly rewards and concentrate on nothing but those items. And again, we've shown that we can sit and wait for things for the longest time. And again, I've told Star and Richard with no holes barred that I'm here for the long run. If everything that we've done over the years and all the money we've given goes to naught in the end, then it gets shut down, and so be it. That's what happens. Eventually things die. But what we don't really want is, we don't want that. We want to see development go on meaningful. We want to be able to see updates and know what to expect. And I'm going to point out the big one from Spiffy: fertilizer. Caffeine. Even Jack pointed that one out.
I mentioned that in my post.
Yeah, I know.
As well.
You even pointed that one out. And it's just one of those things where, it was on there, and I don't know whether it was...
For a year. Over a year.
Whether it was too hard to develop and overpromised, or Star got tired of looking at something that wasn't getting anything, and he just decided to yank it. We don't know the answers to a lot of these questions. So all we can do is sit here and talk about it and raise a fuss from time to time, because many of you know, you don't see me post often, but when I do post, my posts get a lot of likes and they get a lot of responses, as Jack's do. We don't post in the forums for the reasons that many of you guys may feel it's toxic. But when we post, it's because after many pleads, after many discussions, after many bug reports, all we can do is throw our hands up and go, geez, what the hell's going on? Why, and again, one of the topics we've been trying to get to all week is, why does it take so long for developers to answer bug reports? I believe I know the answer. Jack believes he knows the answer, but you know what? We're not going to go into this, because that's not our purview. That's not our business. The answer is, ask the developers, and I'll tell you what, you go read the post and see what the developer's answer is, and I think you'll have the answer to your question. So at that, I don't know what to say, except every once in a while somebody's got to raise a stink and give devs a swift kick in the ass, for lack of a better words. Give them a jump start to the heart, and give them reason to think a little bit about where they're going, what they're doing. Because again, long before this became free to play, we paid for 5 episodes, and I plan to be here for all 5 episodes. Now, I paid for that privilege in advance. So once I paid for that, do you really feel that I need to keep paying? Is that the sentiment? Because I've paid for it up front. It's like paying for a magazine subscription that you get once every other month when it's supposed to be a weekly magazine. Okay, I'm paying for 5 episodes that so far I've seen 1 episode, and we're working on 2. But I paid in advance to do that.
That is it. That is true.
Yeah, why should I continue to pay for what I've already paid for? Is basically what it comes down to. If I don't see anything coming out that shows me that direction, does that make sense to any of you? I paid for something. I'm waiting for it to appear, and then I can be happy and play with my shiny new toy. But right now, as it sits, I've paid for 5, and I've gotten 1, and I'm tired of playing with my old toy. I want to start playing with new toys. That's the best way I can equate that.
Don't forget, episode 2 is supposed to be completely released in the next 3 months.
Well, yeah. That's the plan. We're supposed to see episode 2 by December, and again, we have no Q3 notes. We have no,
Yeah.
So,
in party 1, that is true. That's where we want it to be better. You know what? If Chris streams today, I don't know when. He never responded to my comment, because I have no clue when he's ever going to stream. Because it's
we
not
can't
consistent.
even plan to make time to sit down and watch a stream. You can plan to watch us every single day at 12, except tomorrow because he's not going to be here.
Yeah.
But when we're going to be on.
Time,
when to tune in and get these soapboxes and get these rants and get the games and get all the fun, because we're going to be here every day at noon Central Time. I can't say the same for our developers. I mean, it just comes down to that.
While you're doing that, I mean, it's like, why don't you ask him to go through the starting scene today? It's like, create a new character, no GM hacks, no dev hacks, and see what ends up happening. And see him try to open a fucking door and not be able to.
Don't work. We know that's been...
The door does not work.
We know it's been bug reported.
It's like the starting scene. I mean, it's like...
Open the door!
What the fuck?
Let me in!
Yeah.
Let me in! Anyway.
It's like, door should open. Door doesn't. Door has a little green thing on the door. It's like, I double-clicked it. Doesn't
and things
work.
like that get majorly frustrating, especially to vets. But can you imagine what they do to the new guy who needs to get in that door to get his quest item? Absolutely.
If you're a brand new player... You're not thinking, oh yeah, that's a known bug. I'm going to go ahead and go through. And it's like, that right there is like, holy shit, this isn't our starting scene for brand new players. Not for old players that might forgive us for something, that having a silly bug like that. No, this is for brand new players. And this is the 3rd iteration since live of the new user experience. 3rd since live.
3rd. Now again, we can't force them to do anything again.
We can't force them. It's like they don't listen to us anyways.
We can just make suggestions, but you know what? It's gotten to the point that even no matter how loud we scream, because again, people take it as the joke that it is. You would think that they would take some of the feedback, at least, that we have, and the feedback that we get from you guys, and pass on in these streams, and somebody would take a little time every once in a while. Now, of course, we can't listen to your stream every day to hear what you guys got to say. Oh, well, that's a two-way street, boys. Well, if you can't listen to us, well, then I ain't got time to, try and figure out what time you're going to be on streaming, and try and fit that around the schedule. So again, you can see where we have a little kerfuffle with that. But meanwhile,
little disconnect. Yep.
Yes. Little
Time for us to
disconnect.
go.
It's way past us time to go. I'm rolling the sponsors in the background there while we're talking because, again, last show of the week and, again, important topics. So I didn't think it was going to be fair just to go, hey, it's 1 o'clock. Let's just cut this off because, again, we got some good discussion going here with the people in chat. And, again,
Yeah, you can end up cutting this show into 2 pieces and then play it tomorrow on the radio.
Yeah, no, because that ain't gonna happen. This will play throughout tomorrow as well. But yes, don't forget check out our sponsors there, folks. Of course, you know the routine. Check these guys out. Shop the marketplace. Hit up your local vendors. Support your local in-game vendors. And again, if we don't occasionally voice these and start conversations, as you can see, Chris has chimed in. The guys on Reddit said, oh, they're going to lock that and delete it. You know what? As long as we keep it a healthy conversation and we don't start screaming obscenities at them in the conversation and we're pointing out valued facts and thoughts like Brown Coat Jason. He said he went round and round with Chris and Star, and he offered up several different ideas to avoid taking out the selective multiplayer, but in the end, they decided to yank it anyway. Even though there were several viable other paths to choose, they chose what they wanted in the end, and that's what it's always going to come down to. It's going to be whatever they decide is for the health of the game, and again, we understand, but when it comes down to continually asking us to, come out of our pockets to help fix things that we don't see getting fixed, well, there's got to be a line in the sand, folks. My line in the sand was when they went from $5 to $10 and, forced me to buy Kodos for microtransactions. I like going to the store and spending $1 here, $5 here, $20 there, even at $20, but I'm not, for the life of me, going to the crown shop and buying $100 worth of crowns just to have them in case I want to buy something. If I want to buy something, I preferred the old-fashioned method, which was go buy it for the price it was, and it takes it out of my PayPal account. I've got thousands of Kodos floating around that I right now have no use for because of my monthly subscriptions, and now I'm giving them away to you guys for tuning in and listening. Speaking of which, we're going to close out this last giveaway today, and we're going to pick ourselves the final winner of the day, and that would be Mom with the winner of 100 crowns. And of course, again, there are all sorts of stuff out there to spend money on, but when it comes to I want something shiny, I'm not spending money on virtual game dollars that I'm going to have bloating my account, which is what I'm doing now with the one account. I get 900 Kodos a month, and they're sitting in my bank, just sitting there because there's nothing in the Crown Store as of late that I want to buy, first off. And second, I just missed the microtransaction, so I find other ways to use those Kodos. I gave to the Virtue League. I've been sponsoring the Virtue League. I give them Kodos. I get a mention in their book, and they give away Kodos to their competitors as prizes. So not only am I still supporting, on this character, but I'm taking the money, the game money that I get, and I'm giving that right back to the players in the game. So what more can I say about that? But that's how the cookie bounces sometimes. But meanwhile, yes, we are way past time today. It's going to screw everybody up. Of course, I really don't care what it does to radio schedule too much anymore because, hey, I know the guy who owns the radio station. He's not going to complain. But, of course, I got to thank you all for tuning in today. I got to thank you all for getting active in the conversation. And, of course, I got to thank you for your support out there today. Let's see if this is actually going to work as we head on out today. I think I fixed it again. But we'll find out in just a moment. Is it going to work? It's not working. Not working. All right. But meanwhile, we're going to wrap it up. Jack's got to get to his play date, and then he's got to head to Florida tomorrow. I'm headed out for the rest of the weekend. I got family in town. So till Monday, we'll be back then. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
Yes, and we are NBNN. Thanks again for the feedback. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Bye-bye. Only 14 minutes over.
These are definitely the best.